Is DeAndre Hopkins going to dominate with the Chiefs offense? Welcome back, everybody, to the KC Sports Report. I'm your host, Michael Darcy, and today I'm going to break down if DeAndre Hopkins is the missing piece to this Chiefs offense. So Chiefs Kingdom, Brett Veach was able to pull off the trade of the season, trading a conditional fourth-round draft pick to the Tennessee Titans to acquire wide receiver DeAndre Hopkins. This is a move that has shaken the NFL. There are teams, fan bases that are going crazy because the Chiefs just pulled off the trade of the season. This is a guy that put up 1,000 yards last year with Will Levis throwing him the football. And so this conditional fourth-round draft pick will only be a fourth-round draft pick if the Chiefs win the Super Bowl, or at least make the Super Bowl, and then Hopkins has to play in at least 60% of the offensive snaps. And both of those things seem pretty likely to happen. So it seems like it's going to be a fourth-round draft pick to get one of the best wide receivers that we've seen in the past 10 years. And listen, he is not going to be the same DeAndre Hopkins that he was, in 2014 and 2015. I mean, there was a couple seasons in the mid-2010s that he was putting up 12 to 1,500 yards a season where he was legitimately the best player in football, at least the best wide receiver in football. And while those days are behind him, I think you really have to acknowledge the amount of talent that he still has left. I know a lot of people are saying that he's washed and that he's not going to be the same player, but listen, his best quarterbacks that he's played with in his career is Kyler Murray and Deshaun Watson. Both of those guys, I think we could both agree, aren't very good so far this season, and they haven't been good in quite some time. So the fact that he was able to put up those numbers with Deshaun Watson and Kyler Murray, and he played with Colt McCoy, Will Levis, I mean the list goes on and on of the bad quarterbacks that he played with, and part of that was his choice. He signed with teams that weren't necessarily a contender, but now he's here. Now he has a chance to play for a winning team, a winning franchise, and he's going into the best locker room in the NFL. The Chiefs culture is unlike anything any other NFL team has, and you can't replicate it. It's something that only winning brings you, and I think that, he even said it in his introductory press conference. He hasn't played meaningful football in a long time, and so I really think that that's going to rejuvenate him. And I think that that's also going to rejuvenate Patrick Mahomes to get back to being that MVP quarterback that we all know he can be. And so, is DeAndre Hopkins the missing link to this offense? Yeah, I really do. I think that, I said this in videos in the past. I think DeAndre Hopkins is the best wide receiver this Chiefs team has had since Tyreek Hill. And I don't think it's, particularly close. I think that what DeAndre Hopkins can give you is what a legitimate bona fide number one wide receiver can provide. He's somebody that, coming off the street, I guess not coming off the street, but coming off of, the Titans, he is your number one wide receiver, and he has been here all of 3 days. And so I think that speaks a lot to the talent that DeAndre Hopkins has, but it also shows that the Chiefs got their guy. They got somebody for a fourth-round draft pick, could be a fifth-round draft pick. I think that we're all hoping that it's a fourth-round draft pick, but they got somebody who has been, premier at their position for a day 3 draft pick. And it does not get any better than that. And listen, he hasn't had the most productive 2024, but there's still a lot of time left, and he's got 15 receptions for 173 yards and 1 touchdown. He's averaging 11.5 yards per catch, and again, that's with Will Levis throwing him the football. You give him Patrick Mahomes, you give him the best quarterback in the NFL, think of the numbers that are going to improve. I totally think that overnight, he could double his stats. He could easily, in this Raiders game, have 8 or 9 catches for $110. Easy. And so I think that is the perks of having a legit number one wide receiver. The talent is endless. Like, he is somebody that could legitimately put this offense on his back and take so much pressure off of Travis Kelce. And not just Travis Kelce, the pressure off Xavier Worthy. I mean, we were going into this game before the DeAndre Hopkins trade with Xavier Worthy, Mecole Hardman, and before Sky Moore got put on IR, it was him. So it was those 3 guys, plus there was another guy, Justin Watson was the 4th wide receiver. That's all they had. And you're still only going into this Raiders game with 4 wide receivers, but DeAndre Hopkins is the biggest upgrade that you could possibly get. And so, again, I know a lot of people are pointing to the dip in production, the dip in the stats, Who was throwing him the football? What were the situations that he was playing in? They weren't good situations. And I think that if we've seen anything with the success of guys like Juju Smith-Schuster, Kareem Hunt, Andy Reid will put guys in a position to be successful in this offense. And just think, just dream about what he could do with DeAndre Hopkins. He was able to scheme up Juju to have an incredible game. Think about what he could do with a player the caliber of DeAndre Hopkins. It's a scary thought. The Chiefs could legitimately turn into a top 5 offense overnight because you've got DeAndre Hopkins, you've got Travis Kelce, you've got Xavier Worthy, you've got Kareem Hunt running the football. You're going to get Pacheco back. The word on the street is that Hollywood Brown is going to be back come playoff time. This wide receiver room could go from being one of the worst in the NFL to being one of the best come playoff time. And that's only possible with the trade of DeAndre Hopkins. And so Chiefs Kingdom, I want to know what you guys have to say down in the comments below. What do you think his impact on this offense will be? I think it's very fair to assume that he's your immediate number one. He's somebody that is going to get the ball in big moments. And I was seeing this all over Twitter, and I couldn't agree more. DeAndre Hopkins is the Rashee Rice replacement. He's somebody that's going to get the targets that Rashee Rice got. And I think that even though he's 32 years old, he's still got a lot of juice left. Trust me, he has got some more left in the tank, and I'm so excited to see what Andy Reid is able to scheme up to get DeAndre Hopkins activated in this offense. A lot of those red zone issues, where they're 29th in the league at converting in the red zone, that goes away. DeAndre Hopkins is one of the best red zone threats in the NFL. He's got giant hands. His catch radius is unreal. He is going to be the scariest red zone target that Mahomes has played with in a while. And that's saying a lot because Travis Kelce is a dog, or at least he was a dog. But I think DeAndre Hopkins is just going to make this team even better in the red zone, and it's going to improve this team overall. So quite literally, I think that DeAndre Hopkins is going to take this offense to another level. He is this team's number one wide receiver, and expect nothing less. The Chiefs went out to go get this guy because they thought he could be their number one, and I think that's the expectation. When you have a guy like Hopkins who is so talented, the expectation is that he's number one. And so I think that we should go into this Raiders game thinking, okay, he might need a game or two to get acclimated to the offense. But guys, this is our number one. This is the guy that Mahomes is going to rely heavily on as we get towards the later stretches of the season. And that's exactly what Brett Veach had in mind when he gave up this conditional 4th-round draft pick to go get this guy. So I'm super excited. I think that DeAndre Hopkins is a guy that could go for easily 1,000 yards this year. I know he's only got 100-something yards so far in 2024. Patrick Mahomes is a different beast. He just is. I know he hasn't played well. This duo, this combination, it's going to feed families. It's going to be crazy, and I'm just so excited to see how these two perform on the biggest stage. So Chiefs Kingdom, let me know what you guys think down in the comments below. Give me your thoughts and expectations of DeAndre Hopkins. Again, I think you have to expect him to be this team's number one wide receiver, but I guess if you asked him, he wouldn't have it any other way. That's all I have for this video, guys. If you enjoyed it, hit that like button and subscribe for more Chiefs content. Go follow me on social media, Instagram and TikTok, KC_Sports Report, and Twitter at KC Sports Report. Until next time, guys, thank you for watching this video, and go Chiefs.